Rise of the Tomb Raider. This is a rough one. It's coming to PS4 holiday 2016.
This sucks.
Well, here's the thing, though. Like, that just makes it a year. And it's interesting because, like, with all the discussions, that was exactly a year ago when they announced this at Gamescom. And they were like, every interview was like, will it eventually come to PS4 and PC? They were like, nope, it's Microsoft exclusive. And then it's interesting that the period ended up being a year, which is admittedly really long. Like, I don't think there's been a gap that long since the GTA 4 DLC is the last time I remember a like full year passing. So I don't want to, like, that sucks for people with a PS4 who really want to play Tomb Raider. But it's also really interesting that, like, it shows that it wasn't, like, a true exclusive. And it does almost make me wonder what'll happen with, like, I know Street Fighter V, they said, like, Sony co-funded, I believe. So that one's, like, a true never coming to Xbox exclusive.
Yeah.
This is just interesting to me that, like, even after all of that, it ended up only being a year.
But the weird thing is that it comes out for PC a few months after the Xbox version.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which that's Microsoft.
It's Microsoft, so it makes sense.
Still,
Yeah.
that means like they actively paid money to keep PlayStation owners from enjoying something enjoyable for a full year.
So I wonder if they're co-publishing or if they aided development. Like, I don't know. There are, like, so many reasons that can happen. I don't think it's necessarily a malicious thing so much as a, like, getting back their investment thing.
You think they aided development?
I don't know. I mean, they announced it a year ago. So yeah.
At the very least,
Yeah.
like, I don't know if with actual, like, human resources or anything.
Yeah.
I mean, but this is also, you have to keep in mind, so we're Tomb Raider's coming out on Xbox One in November.
Yeah.
And then, assumedly in Q1, Uncharted 4 will be coming to PS4.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see, like, I don't know, how people react to Tomb Raider before we've played Uncharted. And then how people react to Uncharted after Tomb Raider, and then how people will react to Tomb Raider.
Are Nate and Laura the new Mario and Sonic?
I mean, I actually really appreciate
Are they?
how
Seriously, I need to know.
I appreciate how different these games are becoming. I don't think they're even remotely comparable anymore, honestly. Like, Uncharted is still that sort of like linear action game, and I think they're opening things up a little bit more. Like, there's a point A and there's a point B in the Uncharted games now, and it looks like the new stuff, like the squiggly line between A and B is.
And that's what I'm excited for, because
crazier.
the Uncharted 4 demo with, like, the driving, like, that world seemed so big, and
Yeah.
it didn't just seem point A to point B. It almost looked like maybe there are alternate paths and stuff. But I'm curious because, yeah, like, Tomb Raider had that. It wasn't, like, fully an open world, but you got that, like,
You got that
sense of
feeling that it
exploration
was.
a little more.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which
and it
I
was
loved,
Also,
you know?
Yeah, and it had that more of that, like, Metroidvania idea too, where, like, you couldn't get to certain areas until you
And this
had
this
good
one has all
items.
of the sort of like the hunting and trapping. Like, it looks like there's a lot of just like waiting around and stalking prey and setting up camps and stuff like that. Like,
And I'm excited-
Uncharted's not doing anything like that at all.
I really hope, just like I hope this for Uncharted, and why I like 3 a lot. I really hope this Tomb Raider doesn't have any supernatural stuff. Like, I would love for it to just be a straightforward story.
Yeah, like, spoilers on the last one. I won't spoil anything, but there's some of that stuff.
Yeah.
And it sucks.
And it's by far the weakest part of that game.
It's the only part where I look back in that game and I'm like, why'd you do that? But Uncharted does
I
the
kind
same.
of liked it.
Really?
Yeah. I liked all the
Yeah,
skulls,
but you're into
too.
spooky stuff.
Yeah.
I like skulls. I
I
like
like
the part where Lara Croft's in a big room full of skulls. And
Okay,
Yeah,
I mean,
there's
that's-
never a blood
And
part.
there's like really realistic skull physics, but they're like super bouncy. You're like,
You,
why are
under,
the
you
skulls
understand
moving
that,
around
that
so much?
real things have skulls, right? And that's not a supernatural element.
Yeah,
You
but
even have a
never,
skull.
it's too many skulls. It's
Only-
not
it's not
unrealistic.
only monsters
like
have
unrealistic
skulls.
amount of skulls.
That is fair enough. I will give you that.
I went to the catacombs of Paris. There were a whole
lot of
bunch
skulls.
Yeah, but there's not
6
like a
billion.
big ketchup river down there with just blood everywhere.
That's
you know?
true. Ubisoft wouldn't let me go down.
Sorry, I said there was 6 billion in the catacomb. It's actually 6
I don't
million.
know. There's that big like that ogre
not
guy.
big.
Like he's a.
Yeah, I didn't like that, man. I want more.
I liked it because they were kind of nebulous about it. You're like, it wasn't. I mean, it wasn't like the Yetis in Uncharted 2. It was like you're sort
Yeah.
of like,
Yeah.
what is this? Like,
I
is
want-
this just a big
No
scary
magical
man?
trees.
I'm fine if there's dinos. I can handle dinos because they were real like a couple hundred years ago.
Yeah, because they could have just been in a cave and no one found them.
Yeah, Shangri-La.
Yeah, I don't know. This game looks awesome. It sucks if you only have a PS4 because you can't play this for a year. I will be booting up the old Xbox One to play it this fall because I can't wait.
Unless
are-
Xbox
get
Live
off of
goes
this
down, and then you can't
podcast.
play it.
Unless it goes down, that's right.
I had that happen with Batman this weekend. is the reason
I
for
had
that.
a classic PlayStation moment over the weekend where
a new segment, classic PlayStation moment.
where I booted up my Xbox One and then 45 minutes later I was allowed to actually use it.
Wait,
that happened, Marty?
Wait, your Xbox One or your PS4?
My Xbox
Oh
One.
yeah,
That's
it
what
was
he's
it
like-
for so long.
it was
So
like
Marty
the good
came
old days on
over-
PS3.
Yeah.
Marty was at my place when I turned on my Xbox One for the first time in a very long time, and same thing. I had to wait like a very long time for updates. And it's interesting because I was like, man, like it is just weird how that part of the tables have turned. Like the PS3 updates were like insane that way. But yeah, like I mean, admittedly, if you play often enough on either console, you're never gonna really be impacted by updates.
Yeah.
But like this, it had been like months since I turned on my Xbox One.
I hadn't
was part
either.
of it.
No bias. There just really hadn't been anything that.
Yeah, I just
And my
prefer
multi-platforms end up going there,
Yep.
so to
Yeah.
PS4.
playing Batman on Xbox is just because that's where we had a code, so it was just
Yeah.
easier. But yeah, in general, I just opt for PS stuff.
It's
when I can.
it's just it's weird jumping to a different console after you spend a long time with one. It feels like being in somebody else's kitchen.
Yeah,
Where
it
you're
also
like,
sort of.
where do you keep your
But then
cups.
when you're in that kitchen, you do find the cups and
Yeah,
you
yeah.
find the
And
plates,
it's
and it's
fine.
like
It's
fine.
all the same.
Yep.